Therefore, within the elbow points exists the choice system, which presents you with the idea/perception/hope/belief that you are in directive control of your world. By presenting you with a crossroads of which one path is the one you will most certainly take because you're pre-programmed to, and the other is the possible illusionary alternative direction path which designs the idea/perception/belief of choice. When in truth your life experience here on earth is pre-programmed, locked into the relationships you form and develop, to which the direction you move within the white light grid-line structure of the world is controlled. That's why marriages exist in this world. Marriage is the absolute example of pre-programmed life experiences according to relationships. You marry, start a family, work, provide for the family, and that's all your life consists of, and is able to be defined under one simple term: survival. Your life revolves around survival not only in this world as you make a living, but also within yourself as a consciousness structural resonance system. If you are currently in a relationship that formed and developed according to a desire, consisting of emotions and feelings and thoughts, you're trapped and locked in, my friend. If you're one of the lucky ones within the system that was programmed to be married for the remainder of your life, or have a fulfilling relationship for the remainder of your life to generate the desires and hopes within the poor suckers in the world who don't have such relationships, well, you're still programmed as manifested desires for those who don't have such relationships in their world. Then the poor suckers in the world will do and give anything and everything to fulfill their desires and hopes for such a relationship and travel from one partner to the next to realize their desire/hope for such a relationship the lucky ones were programmed to have. Yet both the lucky ones and the poor suckers' life experiences are pre-programmed according to the relationships they form/develop. The more consciousness systems are amplified or generated, better your enslavement and control within the system is secured. Therefore, both extremes of the lucky ones and the poor suckers' life experiences here on earth are pre-programmed, no matter how or what relationships are formed/developed/experienced. The reason I am explaining this is for human beings to realize that all relationships that are currently experienced within existence have been pre-programmed and are preordained to be experienced, designed in such a way to have human beings remain enslaved and controlled to consciousness systems in existence and support each other within, and as their acceptance and allowance of becoming consciousness structural resonance systems. Therefore, there are no human beings in this world that are in a relationship that support their unconditional self-expression as who they really are. If you're in a relationship currently, you're able to make this process extensively difficult for yourself because of the amount of value and self-definition human beings have placed within their relationships with partners which support separation. Because instead of two beings standing within and as oneness and equality, standing as all as one and taking responsibility for themselves as all of existence and directing themselves as all as one as who they really are out of this shithole we call life and creation, human beings' focus and attention is only limited within their relationship, judging and discriminating the rest of the world satisfied within their own little illusionary relationship dream world. Fuck the rest, I'm happy. That's why it's so simple to program human beings' life experiences here on Earth as consciousness structural resonance systems, because they design their world as small and limited as possible with the relationships that are formed during their lifetime. In Part 2, Phase 7, I will continue explaining the structural resonance points of the body, front section. Veno Structural Resonance Part 2 Phase 7. July 30, 2007. Veno Structural Resonance, Part 2, Phase 7. Transcribed and typed by Veno through the interdimensional portal. Date, July 30, 2007. And we are once again returning to the continuation of the structural resonance within human beings in today's world. A note to warn those who are currently in relationships in the world. Most of what is discussed here regarding the structural resonance within human beings is emphasizing the existence of relationships that exist within and of consciousness program design, because it is in the forming and development and commitment of relationships that beings have been fucked in this reality. More of this statement will be understood as we continue. The design of the structural resonance in the human physical body. Body, front. 15. Forearm points. Protection and defense. Within the forearm points exist the protection/defense systems, beautifully harnessed and caressed within the muscle tissue of the forearms. What exactly these protection/defense systems are is manifested design systems, which human beings are able to utilize in situations to circumvent a possible threat to their existence as programmed consciousness structural resonance systems. The foundation upon which the protection/defense systems within the forearm points is established upon is none other than fear of loss. If the threat of possibly losing a certain something within their world that was placed specifically by the being themselves because it was used to define who they are, and without it, their controlled existence they refer to as their life and who they are, would be influenced and harmed dramatically, which is just not acceptable. The fear of loss system within the forearm points will be activated and met with justification, denial, validation, etc., to protect and defend and maintain and control their existence, to just not lose themselves as who they are within the system. Fascinating. So fear of loss, together with justification, denial, and validation, is what's used to have human beings remain enslaved and controlled within consciousness as programmed consciousness structural resonance systems, so that when a threat arises of either change or possibly losing something that they have used to define who they are within the system, up come the protection/defense systems within the forearm points to make sure they remain controlled slaves to consciousness. Yes, the creators made sure that humanity is split and separated into all sorts of defined beliefs and perceptions of existence and of themselves, where everyone is right and the rest is wrong, waging conflict between man and using the protection/defense systems within the forearm points so that all within their defined beliefs and perceptions of existence may defend and protect their existences that are of consciousness. It's quite hilarious when you see that no one is right and no one is wrong, but that all have been placed as pawns for consciousness systems' enjoyment of continuous enslavement and control. And here I am, with so many others, challenging all that has ever flourished and manifested within humanity, used as self-defined trust establishments within themselves and in their world, and we're saying, stop, have a look, observe yourself, and the experience of yourself in this world, because it's all been a lie. I suggest watch The Matrix closely, because it's not far from the truth of what exactly is occurring and manifesting within humanity in this moment. So, the protection/defense systems is activated and directed by fear of loss, quite simply equated within the mind consciousness systems design of human beings in this world. Have them individualize and personalize their own mind consciousness system as they come of age, define who they are within the system with that which exists separate from who they really are, then the existence of fear of loss within human beings actually become automatic. Why? Because human beings have fallen in the trap of defining who they are within the system with that which is separate from who they really are. Within the self-defined separation, they have to control and hold onto and maintain their existence with all that they have used to define who they are within the system that is separate from who they really are. Therefore, fear of loss only has the ability to exist within humanity if you have defined who you are within the system according to that which exists separate from yourself. It's simple. Then, the protection/defense systems within the forearm points are also able to come to the fore and jump out like a jack-in-the-box when resistance is allowed to be experienced. Yet again, resistance to that which may or might influence, harm, or threaten your existence within your self-imposed, controlled, and enslaved imprisonment as a programmed consciousness structural resonance system. Human beings are literally, day in and day out, continuously trying to control and maintain their self-imposed, controlled, and enslaved imprisonment they refer to as their life to ensure their survival within the system as a programmed consciousness structural resonance system as who they are, existing in constant fear of loss, and using their protection/defense systems within the forearm points to stabilize themselves in remaining within and as that which they know and trust. And using their protection/defense systems within the forearm points to defend and protect themselves if their existence is threatened, harmed, or influenced, to just not lose themselves as who they are within the system. Quite magnificently designed so that humanity will always protect and defend their existences through fear of loss, utilizing justification, denial, and validation, never knowing that it is in truth themselves that are allowing and accepting their own continuous enslavement to consciousness, because they have defined who they are within the system to that which exists separate from themselves. The protection/defense systems that exist within the forearm points of all of humanity is exactly the same. The defense and protection mechanisms used as justification, validation, denial, etc. are copied and duplicated by the child from the parents as reactive behaviors and actions, mainly consisting of conflicting arguments of manipulation to defend and protect their own personalized and individualized mind consciousness systems as the structural resonance within and as them, used to define who they are within the system. Have a look when a being's existence is challenged. When a being as that which they have defined who they are within the system is challenged, up come the jack-in-the-box protection/defense system, preparing their armor to ensure their safety of just not losing themselves as who they are within the system. To just not lose that which they have used to define who they are within the system and fight back to defend and protect themselves through reactive emotional behaviors/actions of justifications, validations, resistances, manipulation, and denial, which is also known as fighting for your own limitations. Human beings' G-spot activation when challenged for in case their entire existence is harmed, influenced, or threatened, which is their God spot, fear of loss. Human beings react. They don't stand up as who they are. There is a great difference. Reaction would be utilizing the protection/defense systems, experiencing fear of loss, and experiencing emotional, reactive, manipulative behaviors in which one justify, deny, or validate your existence to ensure the safety of yourself within and as a programmed consciousness structural resonance system. Standing up would be a statement of who you are, through words spoken as one with who you are, the statement as who you are which stand infinitely, a statement that stand absolute with no movement or waver within yourself, the certainty obsolete, and remain the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Therefore, the protection/defense systems within the forearm points is consciousness armor for each human being to utilize when who they are within the system as a programmed consciousness structural resonance system could possibly be influenced, harmed, or threatened, ensuring their safety within the continuous enslavement and control of consciousness through fear of loss. 16. Wrist points. The search for answers to questions that rise within a seemingly dark and opaque unknown territorial existence here on Earth because of apparent no comprehension and understanding of yourself, the world, and the rest of humanity. For it becomes dangerous when you seek the answers to the questions that rise within from those as lost and confused as yourself, that have gone before you within this dark and opaque unknown territorial existence on Earth, not understanding or comprehending the reason for themselves, the world, and the rest of humanity, who've used theories derived from ancient beliefs and perceptions to design answers to questions that make sense. The making of sense. The design of sense/answers to fit the profile of answers to questions that seem pliable and acceptable within the conformities of one's own experience here on Earth. The wrist points are the enslavement of man as the deterioration of themselves to the most finite inferior expression known to existence. Forever enslaved and controlled within the white light soul construct/reincarnation system, endlessly searching for the ultimate answer or reason or purpose for the existence of themselves in this world along with the rest of humanity, as the apparent meaning of life/meaning of themselves to become something or anything of worth or importance. Because they are apparently of no worth or importance, within doing so, trying to survive in this world. The wrist point system is that which enslaves humanity to the belief and perception of their finite inferior expression, apparently not having the ability to understand or comprehend anything that exists, and must follow journeys and paths to become something, to gain purpose, to understand reason, to feel special, to attain to some higher importance, etc. Within the wrist points exists the finite system. It is from this finite system within the wrist points that human beings have infinitely accepted and allowed their finite inferior existence on earth as who they apparently are, trying to find multiple ways in the making of sense and designing of answers, forming and developing perceptions and beliefs to the reason and purpose for man's existence on earth, used, of course, to the creators of consciousness benefit. Not only this, but it is within the finite system of the wrist points that human beings allow and accept themselves to conform and condition themselves to that which is acceptable and allowed in this world, and that which is not acceptable and allowed in this world, all conditioning and conforming to that which already exists here on earth, conditioning and conforming themselves to that which is safe and have already been tried and tested by those that have gone before them. Therefore, the finite system within the wrist points represents that which you remain within the conditionings and conformities of this world as those that have gone before you, never allowing you to completely break free from and challenge all that exists, all that you've ever known, and all that you've ever trusted, but remain within that which has been laid out before you by those that have gone before you, that was of consciousness enslavement. And so the creators of consciousness program design man to perceive and believe themselves to be inferior and finite within the beliefs and perceptions that they exist within a seemingly vast existence separate from all within and of existence, with dimensional beings more profound and great in knowledge and wisdom than man. So man may, through their beliefs and perceptions, follow the conditionings and conformities of existence, create and design gods within religions and spiritualities, worship the dimensional beings presenting themselves to be the greater and more profound expressions of knowledge and wisdom. In this way of man believe and perceive they do not have the answers, ability and power of anything within and of existence as one with who they are, but those that seem more higher and superior in their presented expression. The wrist point finite system is that which enslaves and controls humanity to remain in the search for answers and the hope of a solution to this world and themselves, instead of realizing that each human being in this world is responsible for all as one and must stand up, must wake up, must live and apply who they are in every moment, give up and let go all that they have ever known and trusted within and of this world, and themselves to see, hear and realize themselves as who they really are. The finite system is passed on from generation to generation within humanity, supporting consciousness evolution and enslavement instead of challenging all that exists within existence and within themselves that is of consciousness enslavement. 17. Hand points. The hands of the Creator, the hands of man, the hands of me, hands as I. The usage of hands in this world has been greatly abused, extensively abused, phenomenally abused. The usage of hands in this world have been supporting humanity's enslavement to consciousness, and it is actually demonstrating the enslavement of man to consciousness magnificently, for human beings have been using their hands without presence and awareness as who they are, for within the very point of your fingertips exist you as who you are, within the very point of your fingertips exists your expression as who you are. What have hands been used for within this world but survival? Human beings use their hands to work and earn a living and touch and feel that which is apparently real within this physical manifested materialized existence. Using the hands and eyes together to deceive self in believing that which is visibly seen with the human eye, together with touch and feel of the hands, is all that exists that is real, separate from who they are, where the physical human eyes require proof of the existence of self, proof of the existence of that which had been experienced by some human beings, communicated to others, which seemingly is impossible or unbelievable because others have not seen such an experience with their own human physical eyes. Therefore, probably scientists exist to just prove to humanity that humanity does indeed exist, with research and projects and experiments carried out, using their hands to show humanity the required proof of their own existence, which human beings are able to see with their human physical eyes, experience through touch, etc., and then say, "Now I believe you, because I have seen/touched/experienced it for myself."